I had to make a quick video today because yesterday I released a video about corruption and the way in which the Trump administration has taken this to entirely new levels. And we're seeing the kind of corruption that is pretty much unheard of in American history. He built on the corruption he engaged in his first administration by retaining his business interests and creating a clear pathway where other people could pay him, which is essentially paying for renting his hotels and taking spaces and organising conferences in his venues, so paying him and then getting some good favours from him in return. So that was a form of corruption that was really clear. There were foreign governments who were like booking out whole stories of his hotels, a whole floor of his hotels, and then coming to meet him afterwards. Clearly that makes him well disposed to them. So that was a form of corruption he was doing in the first administration. He's now sort of turbocharged that in the second administration with his cryptocurrency and the way in which his family makes money from every transaction from the Trump meme coin. So encouraging people to do that in exchange for meeting the president is basically flat out charging people for influence. Now, as I say, this is a kind of corruption we have never really seen before. But while I was making the video, Trump announced something else that went from the unsubtle to the completely obvious, in-your-face corruption. The kind of corruption that even dictators in developing countries would shirk at. Even they would be uncertain about how it might go down in their country if they did this. I hope you're enjoying the video. As a psychiatrist who's fascinated by the worlds of politics and economics and philosophy, I love making these videos, and if you'd like to see more of them, then please do like and subscribe and comment in this video. What you'll find is that there's a beautiful community growing up around this channel. We're all going through a national and international trauma right now because of what's happening and where our leaders are taking us. And in this channel you'll find people honestly sharing their situation and their distress, and other people responding with kindness, empathy and compassion. So please join this wonderful community that we're forming, join in the comments and the dialogue that's happening. So basically, Qatar has offered Trump an entire $400 million airplane and said to him that not only can you have this completely free of charge from us, but when you leave the presidency, if of course he ever does, you get to keep it personally yourself for free. And Trump has said yes to this. In fact, he said that to say no would be stupid. You see, in Trump's worldview, the only logic is greed. If you don't enrich yourself, then you're dumb. I remember when he was in his first presidential debate with Hillary Clinton, and she talked about the fact that he hasn't released his tax returns and how it's likely he's not paying very much tax at all. And he said, that makes me smart. So in other words, to avoid paying taxes, to kind of steal from the American people and not pay your fair due, to also take advantage of your position given to you by the American people and enrich yourself is also smart. All of these things are considered to be smart. Making money, taking advantage of your position, disadvantaging others as a result, giving some people privileged access, all of this is smart so long as it makes you money. There is no ethical principle to any rule. There's no ethical principle behind what is determined to be right and wrong action. So right is that which makes me more money, wrong is when I don't make more money. There's nothing about ethics or good and bad in that. And why is this so dangerous? Well, this just means that you can buy the American government. You can buy the entire machinery of state just based on how much money you give Trump. We've already seen this happen with Elon Musk. The fact that he gave hundreds of millions of dollars to help elect Trump gave him a free rein within government. In fact, what we've also heard, again, just as I was recording the last video, is the fact that a whole bunch of contracts around air traffic control has been cancelled by the Trump administration and replaced by Starlink. Again, a massive boon for Elon Musk, and there was no open competition, there was no fair procurement process, he was just given it. Why? Well, because he gave money to Trump. But now, with this donation from a foreign power, the influence peddling, the nakedness of the corruption is borne out for all to see. And there's no one who could describe the danger and the stupidity of this better than Jon Stewart in this clip.
They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us, I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much.
It's not a free jet. That's the point. You know the expression, there's no such thing as a free lunch? That's about being skeptical of the motives of somebody who gives you a sandwich. A sandwich, a BLT. Now, imagine that BLT has an engine, 9 bathrooms, and funds proxy wars.
So what's really clear to us here is that any attempt to catalogue Trump's corruption, any attempt to make videos about it like I'm doing now, any attempt to detail it, to write about it, to log it, is almost doomed to fail. Why? Because he's at it so much. There's such a constant fire hose of corrupt practices going on, it's almost possible to keep track of. But keep track of it we have to do. Because of a presidency that is descending to this level of greed and corruption must be held accountable, and it can only be held accountable if we speak about it, put it on the record, and keep our eyes on it every single hour of every single day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope we can stay in touch so that you can continue receiving my videos and my content on an ongoing basis. The best way to do that is to follow the link in the description of this video and the description of the channel. And once you do that, you'll be able to complete a form that helps you to sign up to my regular email newsletter. That way you can receive updates about my content on an ongoing basis. You see, in this day and age, almost all the platforms are owned by a small number of oligarchs, and at any moment, based on a whim, they could decide to shut down a channel like this. And if they do, then we'll lose all the subscribers. So I've set up this email newsletter as almost as a safeguard, so that we can always stay in touch whatever happens to the platform, so you can always find out where to locate and view my content. Now, on top of that, I've started to produce with my team some regular ebooks around self-help to help us in this difficult time through this kind of global trauma that we're all going through at the moment. Now, the books are based on helping people to understand the psychology of the leaders around us, the psychology of the system that we're in, but also helping to understand ourselves too, so that we're better equipped to navigate this world and navigate this difficult time. If you go to russellsbooks.com, you'll be able to find a growing catalogue of self-help ebooks there. That's russellsbooks.com. Now finally, you can also join and become a member of this channel. If you just press join on the channel page, you can become a member, and all members actually get all of these ebooks for free. I'm going to produce roughly one a month, and you'll get them all for free if you become a channel member. You can also get things like priority responses to comments, and you can get a members only chat page within the sort of members section as well. So I hope you might consider joining as a member, but either way, on any of these levels, through buying the books or through signing up for the newsletter, we can stay in touch and keep this connection going. Work our own way through this period that we're in, so that we can ultimately create a better tomorrow together. Thank you.